Sure, my name is Joe Anzalone. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts area.
And when did you first come to the Universal Healing Tao System?
I started studying Mantak Chia's books at the recommendation of an acupuncturist I was seeing and learning shiatsu massage from back in the late 80s. And it was his suggestion that I learn how to meditate. I thought it was a little bit far-fetched for me. I didn't envision that I could ever sit still for extended periods of time. But I took those books with me on when I went to Africa for several years and studied them and tried to practice. And then I found myself in the U.S. For a short vacation during that time that I was in Africa. And I called the Healing Tao Center that was in New York at the time, and Master Chia actually answered the phone. And I asked him about if I was practicing right. He said, just do it. It's like a muscle. You practice, you get it. And so when I moved back to the U.S., I actually went to New York and studied with Master Chia in the early 1990s through some weekend workshops, and did that for a couple of years. And then for a long time period, I didn't go to any class. I tried to practice, but wasn't very good. And then because I'm in the Boston area, I started studying with Marie Favorito in the year 2000. And then started studying more every day, mostly 3 classes. And then went to teacher training that summer and became certified, and have been practicing and studying pretty consistently since.
And you mentioned this a little bit in this last question, but why did you come to the system, or why did you stick with it?
Since when I came back, there was something about the Healing Tao. I first came to it, and my interest in it was related to the sexual practices. But later, as I learned more and really saw the potential for the system, it was something I always wanted for myself. It made me feel so good and so in touch with my vitality that I wanted more of that in my life. And so during the period when I had just learned the practice and then wasn't really practicing well and wasn't around a teacher very much, I found myself thinking about it every day but not doing anything. And it came to a point where I felt like, if I die without learning more or developing a practice, it will be a sad thing. So I felt like, I need to accomplish something before I die. And that was what motivated me to get back into a class, to start to develop myself a little bit more through the practices.
And what benefits have you seen?
So for me, the best benefit is feeling good. And most of the time when I practice, it's in a class setting, and it's often at the end of the day or on a weekend. And it really allows me to recharge from a hectic work schedule, a hectic work life, and to really kind of shed off the stress and the emotions, to kind of reemerge as almost restoring your childlike quality, both physically in the body when you're doing some of the Qigong, but more mentally. So for me, it's a great way to balance my emotions and to feel good. And I notice that a lot when I come home to my home, and I can just be happy. I've left all the troubles of work or this and through class, and have shed those off. And when I can come home, then I'm really there for my wife, for my family, to just be with them and be able to contribute myself in a happy way. And there are times when I've not practiced consistently, and I can just bring more negativity at home. I'll be more reactive to something. But when I take the practices home, or when I've done the practices and I feel that energy, I come home, and if somebody else is having a negative day, I understand and can understand their position a little bit more and not react to them. In addition, I can kind of share my own energy with them and let them slough off the negative energy just through our interaction, and allow myself to be a more loving partner.
So help, like interpersonal boundaries.
I'm sorry?
So it helps with interpersonal boundaries.
It's not so much interpersonal boundaries as it is, if your partner is not feeling good, and you also don't feel good, and they snap at you, you will snap back at them. You know, you will react. But if you feel good and they don't, they snap at you, you can realize, oh wow, looks like they don't feel too good. And you can just understand what's going on with them a little more and help them transform that energy, give them a little more love, and they too can transform it to be loving. So in that same way, I practice the men's healing love. And more than a physical thing now, it seems like it's more like you're able to make love from a distance now. That somebody can be across the room and you can still send them loving energy. So it's transformed that idea of making love from a physical thing to something that you can just, almost a way of being in relationship with someone. So those are probably the biggest things for me. I also practice Tai Chi and enjoy a lot of the other practices to help make my body strong. But for me, the emotional regulation is the preeminent piece.
And what do you see the future of the Healing Tao Universal System? What do you see for the future?
You know, I don't have a clear sense of what that would be. For my own self, I like the idea of developing my own ability to share the practices with people and to have methods and meetings like this where practices can be shared, where some of the people that have been in the system a long time can help those who are not who are a little bit newer to kind of grow it and develop. So that for me is a valuable piece.
Thank you.
Just a few words about Tao Garden.
Sure, Tao Garden is beautiful. You know, before I came, I had a lot of feelings like, well, should I go? Is it really going to be something on joy? It's so much money. Now that I'm here, I'm thinking, how can I get back quickly? It's just beautiful. One of the things that I've really noticed is how caring the staff are, and yet how industrious and loving they are. Every time you pass one of the Thai staff here, they're always giving you a greeting, speaking to you, making you feel so loved, just in their daily way, even when they just pass by. When you're in the Welcome Center, I've gone there to, you know, go do a little internet, and when I turn around, there they are offering tea. It's just such a loving atmosphere. It's wonderful to be in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.